Hello, hello. Hey, Moose Hawks. Hey, Invisible River. Hey, David. How is everybody? Excuse me. Just dandy. That's good. We're going to give it a few more minutes, let people filter in. And then we will get this thing going. Anybody got anything interesting going on? Just riding out a storm. We have storms over us right now, but they're all a little to the west of us right now. They're over on the other side of town. So, I don't know. We might get a little bit at some point before the end of the night. We shall see. Can't wait for next week's gold trades. So the silver's up a bit. It's creeping up close to 70 bucks again. It's at 68.98 right at the moment. Gold just passed 406. Not too shabby. Or 4,006. Or 4,600. There we go. Yep. That is the nature of the market. It goes up, it goes down. It goes up, it goes down. For anybody who's on the mailing list, if you happen to notice my note I put on there. Hey, Westside. I normally don't do it for consignment sales. And I know it's a long shot. But I did say it. If somehow we do manage to get a sellout tonight, I'm going to do a gold giveaway. I know it's a tall order, but if we do manage it, I'm going to do that. Indeed. Yeah, and this is to help somebody out, so if we can manage that, yeah, paying for it comes out of my cut for doing that giveaway, but it really helps them out if we can actually blow it all out. And then next week is part 2 as well of the same bunch of stuff. So, and that'll include, if we do that, and I do that, that will include the last sellout we did from my sale last month. That'll be bundled together, and I'll give away a gold coin. So maybe we'll get lucky. Who knows? Indeed. Yeah, we had the 75 lots was the start, and we sold 20 lots in pre-sale. So there's 55 lots to go. And that's including the 3 most expensive lots on the list. Which one of those is $375, one is $275, and one is $175. It happens. Remember, we had to sell most of our coin collection to you guys because we needed the money so bad. We've still barely replaced any of it. It's tight for everybody right now. And unfortunately, it's looking like it's going to get a lot worse before it gets better. It is nice. It's nice to have that little nest egg put aside, but it also sucks because you're like, this is my collection. At one point, I had probably 50-ish. Hey, Richard. I was up to probably 50 ancient coins at one time. That's one of the things I had to sell all of them off. Except one. I still have one of them. I cut my favorite one. So, yeah, it's tight out there. And that's why, I said, because I know it's tight, and, like I said, the person that that I'm doing this for really needs the help, so that's why I said if we do somehow manage to do a sellout tonight, I'm going to bundle it with the last sellout we did, and I'm going to give away a gold coin. Granted, you know, like I said, yeah, it takes out of my cut, but it's not what it's about, right? It's about helping somebody out. Oh yeah, I've got a couple I definitely won't sell. I've got some that were gifts from you guys that anytime it's a gift, I write down on it that it was a gift, and I don't sell them. I've done it once. I gave away what, 6-8 months ago, somewhere, maybe a little longer, I don't know, but I did actually give away a 1/10 ounce gold coin. Yeah, Invisible River, if you're new here, the normal thing for my normal sales is anytime that we have a sellout, anybody who bought something during the sale is eligible for a giveaway. And then I'll save up, you know, like I'll take a little bit out of how much came in for the sale, and I'll put it in a pot. And then at the end of the month, however much is in the pot, I'll get the best coin I can find, and I give it away. Yep, you just have to have gotten something and paid for it. And if you get something and you don't pay for it, I will throw your ass under the bus, and I will tell everybody else, sorry, it turned out it wasn't a sellout because this person didn't pay. And then you get to enjoy their wrath. I've had that happen once, and then like 3 people stepped up and bought the rest of the stuff to keep it a sellout. All right, here we go. For anybody new, payments made via PayPal. Use cheapskatecoins@gmail.com and use goods and services only, please. We also have Cash App using cheapskatecoins@gmail.com. And we also now have Venmo, also using Cheapskate Coins. If you use Cash App or Venmo, it will say Louis Cachera. That's me. You are in the right place. Excuse me. Shipping is $7 to $28. $7 being the little purple bubble mailer, $28 being a large flat rate box. I do not take Bitcoin. If you want to have your package sent registered, there's an additional $45 on top of that. It's the only way you can insure coins all the way through the mail. Remember, if you have your package sent registered, you will have to sign for it when it arrives. You can get stuff tonight. You just have to email me by the end of the night. If you're new, the email has to have your personal info, shipping info, your channel name, which payment method you're going to use, and what email you use for that payment method for invoicing purposes. If we don't get your payment, if we don't get that email, you cannot get anything. And we never send anything without payment. It wasn't that happy. It wasn't that heavy. It only weighed like, 11 pounds, something like that. It's not that bad. You should feel some of the packages I sent to Richard. I've had packages I've sent to Richard that had like 30 pounds of world coins plus everything else he got to fill the box up. So I think the heaviest box I ever shipped to Richard was like 43 pounds. All right, here is our Facebook link. If you're on Facebook, go give us a follow. Tonight's lot list is on there. It is the top post. I do put the lot list on there every night we have a sale. I also have a mailing list. If you want to be on the mailing list, shoot me an email, cheapskatecoins@gmail.com, and say, add me to the mailing list. If you're on the mailing list, you'll get the lot list a couple of days before every sale. And you have the ability to pre-purchase items as soon as that email hits. Hey, Bo. Remember, just like our sales, it is first come, first serve. So once you get that email, if you see something you want, don't wait, jump on it. And we do not charge right away for pre-sales. We wait until the evening of the sale, and then we invoice everybody together. And make sure you guys check down in our descriptions for the rest of our rules and policies. All right, yeah, so, again, consignment sale, part 1. So, like any other consignment sale, I didn't set the prices. The owner did. I do have a little bit of wiggle room on some of it. I do have permission to do some bundling on some of it. So, never hurts to ask. Worst I can say is no. And again, just in case anybody just popped in and missed it, this is to help somebody out. It's going to be this week and next week. And just to try and help them out as much as I can, even though I normally don't do it. If we do somehow, I'm not counting on it, but if we do somehow manage to sell out tonight, I'm going to give away a gold piece to you guys. It'll be like, you know, later on, because I don't have one just sitting here. I'll have to go get one. And that'll include this sale and then that last sellout we had last month. I'll bundle them together and I'll give away a gold coin. So dig deep. All right, let's get this thing going. All right, first item. This is the only item on the list. It's not a coin. It's a silver medallion. It's from 1967. It was minted in Canada. Oh, my camera's not working. That's not a good way to start. Alright, well, I guess we're scoping the whole night. So this is it. It's the only thing I don't like about doing the streaming is if your camera cuts out, you have to shut the stream all the way down in order to fix it. Which is really annoying. So this is from 1967. It is the 100 Years of Friendship, Canada and U.S. It is 925 sterling silver. It is 0.88 ounce assayed silver weight. It is a proof finish. And it is going for 80 bucks. Oop, that's upside down. There we go. No, I am using OBS. But anytime I've ever had to reset a camera, I have to shut OBS down and restart it, or it won't initialize the camera again. Anybody? Really pretty artwork. All right, moving on. You do that when your camera just restart OBS. I can do that. It's just that I don't want to have to start a brand new stream. And that's what always happens because it takes a while. All right. World Silva. All right, the 1 krona Sweden went in pre-sale. So, first one up, we have 2 of these available. These are 1941 C, 10 cents from Newfoundland, Canada. I'll be all right. We'll manage. They're both extremely fine. There's one this is the toned one, and then there's one that's not toned. And they're both $10. Either way. Anybody? Here's the other one. Yeah, this is my scope cam. It goes down to a pretty high magnification. I always recommend anybody that does coins, get a scope cam. Because then, like, say if you want to see if there's something going on with the mint mark, you can get right down on that sucker. That's handy. See the atoms of the metal? No, it's not. It's not an electron microscope. All right, any taker on these? $10 each. Doug's taking number 2. Anybody on number 1? Oh, also, I forgot to mention it. It did say it in the mailing list, but in case you didn't see it or you're not on the mailing list, you do have up to a maximum of 5 weeks that you can make payments on this. You just have to let me know. At least try to let me know tonight what your payments are going to be, so I can make a note of it. So that way when I send out the first invoices tonight, I know what to send. All right, moving on. All right, the Newfoundland 25 cent went in pre-sale. So did the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Canadas. So our first of the regular Canada for tonight is 1918 25 cent 925 sterling silver in good, going for $16. These are the old Canada. King George the Older. Anybody? All right, moving on. All right, and then next up, we've got 2 of these available. The third one went in pre-sale. These are 2019s. Or 2019s. 1919s. There we go. They are both in good, and they're both $16. Well, $16 each. Here is number 1. And here is number 2. All right, moving on. Let's see if I can figure out a way to get this camera to kick back in without having to restart it. Because when we start getting into American coins, that is going to be really annoying. So you're saying something, Visible River, about you can just like make a new, like a new camera thing for it, and it'll register it again? I'm talking about the studio mode. Give me a sec, guys. I'm going to see if I can get this fixed real fast. All right, yeah, that's going to take a while. Yeah, that's going to take a while. All right, I'm gonna restart OBS real quick, guys. If it does stop the stream and make a new one, just give it a few minutes and then go into the new one, and we'll pick up where we left off. But I'll try and do it really fast, so that way we don't have to do that. Did I get it? Hey, Feldy. All right, camera works again. I managed to get it before it kicked out. Awesome. All right, next up. All right, the first 3 of the Canada 50 cents went in pre-sale. That was the 3 key date ones. So the next one up, this is still like a semi-key date. There's 2 of these available. These are 1918s. Oh, I forgot. Hold on. We're not on that yet. I forgot to do the 1919 quarters. We're on these first. 2 of these available. They're both in goods at 16 bucks. Ooh, focus. These are 925 sterling silver. Here's number 1. Here's number 2. Anybody on these? Yeah, that was nice. It actually let me start it that fast again. Normally it doesn't. Alright, moving on. But trying to do the larger coins on the scope would have just been a pain in the butt. Alright, so now we're on this one. Also 2 available on these. These are 1918s. 855,000 of these ever made. They're both in VGs and they're 35 bucks each. 925 sterling. Had to listen because you're here. Hey, I'll take it. Anybody? How big are they? They're roughly the same size as an American half dollar. All right, one going to Doug. Anybody on the second? I figured you were just sitting back, Richard, waiting for the Morgans. All right, moving on. Only 2 of them. The only 2 Morgans that went in pre-sale were the 92 New Orleans and the 94 New Orleans. I do not have any large cents tonight. Alright, next up we got some dollar coins for Canada. Kicking off with the one that most people are constantly after. Hey, mean one. 1958. This is the death dollar. 80% silver BU. 70 bucks. This one's almost proof-like. Silver jumped up some today. Oh yeah, silver got up. it to me. Plus, keep in mind, I also didn't price these. Yeah, as of right this second, just the melt alone on these is $41.43. You're a rich man now? Cool. Anybody? I can only imagine if you haven't sold any of those, if you actually still have all of those, I can just imagine how many coins you've got. Because I know you're probably buying from other sources, local and whatnot. So I can only imagine what your stash looks like. Alright, moving on. Well, definitely not looking good for the sellout idea. Next up, 1964 BU proof like. Over $60. He's got like the Scrooge McDuck thing going on, and he just swims through his coins. Anybody? $60. It's actually not bad. $18 and change over melt. And it's a BU proof like. If you bought everything, do you get the gold coin automatically? You know what, dude? Yes. Absolutely yes. You buy everything, I will give you the coin. I'm not even afraid to say that. Because I know how much you would be spending. So if you're going to do that, I would recommend wait till the end so you're spending less. All right, moving on. Let others knock that total down for you. All right, next up. This is the 1965. This is the Blunt 5 Small Beads. BU proof like. Going for $60. Dude, I'm already envious of his coin stash. that would just add to it. All right, moving on. Man, no love for Canada tonight. Next up, 1966. BU proof like. Over $60. Your itch is scratching. You're tasting that gold. You did show Canada much love in pre-sale. Indeed. As did Doug. Alright, moving on. Last one out of Canada is the 1967. Be proof like this, of course, is the Goose. I guess upside, if he does pull the trigger, he's got 5 weeks to pay it off. Been the 65. 65, that's that one. You got it, sir. Yeah, you have a maximum of 5 weeks that you can do payments. So the final payment would have to be in 1, 2 by the, hang on, is that right? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, final payment would have to be in by the 24th of next month. Yeah. Exactly, sir. All right, moving on. All right. Next up, I'm actually amazed this one didn't go in pre-sale because they normally do. 1953 25 centavo from Cuba. 90% silver, AU, 18 bucks. This one's going to Chef. Congrats, Chef. All right, next up, got 2 coins from Australia. Invoice you the pre-sale and then the rest after the first. Yeah, definitely send me a reminder on that. All right, first one up. We do not get the older Australia stuff very often. This is the 1934 florin. 925 sterling silver. It's in a fine for 40 bucks. You do not see the older Australia stuff that often at all. Any takers? Reverse is a solid low VF. Wow. All right, moving on. Surprising. All right, then we got one of these tonight. This is the 1966 50 cent. 80% silver BU, 30 bucks. I will forever love that 50 cent design. That is awesome. Anybody? All right, moving on. If you decide you want those, let me know by the end of the night. All right, next up, this one's from India. It is a 1942 with dot rupee. Hey, Paulie. 65 for both. Yeah, I can do that. For both the Australias, I can do 65 for both. Have I ever mailed to you before? I don't recognize that name. All right. Just to be safe, shoot me an email. cheapskatecoins@gmail.com and give me all of your info. Oh, okay. You're Paul Hampton? Never mind. Aren't you on your normal channel? You're confusing me. Okay, so both of those going to Paul. It's nice to see you on, man. I rarely ever see you on streams. For anybody who doesn't know Paul Hampton, he's he's been around pretty much since the beginning. If I want to sell out now, you'll agree with the gold coin throwing it automatically now. Do you want to wait and see if anybody buys any more of the stuff to make it a little less on you? I mean, I'll do it because this is to help somebody else out. So I'll do it either way. I'm just trying to save you some money, see if anybody will buy some of the other stuff first. But if you just want to grab it all right now and guarantee yourself the gold coin, I'll do it. Okay, yeah, let me run through the stuff, and then whatever's left, we'll do you up for the rest of it, and I'll give you the gold coin. I'm sure that will be enough to justify it. All right, so we are on the India. This is the with dot. 1 rupee, 50% silver, AU, 24 bucks. You got it. Are you just email me if you're going to do payments or if it's just going to be a lump sum and you'll just knock it out. Okay, so just whatever your total is, just divide it by 5. All right, moving on. You got it. All right, next up, 1 coin from Britain. And this is the last world silver coin. This is 1916 shilling in fine. 925 sterling, 16 bucks. I guess now the question becomes, Richard, are you going to be able to get anything over the next 5 weeks from my sales? It's all good either way. All right, moving on. All right, kicking off U.S. is a couple of coins from the USA, Philippines. I know some of you guys have been looking for some of the older stuff. They're not the pesos, but they are still the older years. So we got 1917 S, 20 centavos. 75% silver in fine, 10 bucks. The old original USA Philippines shield design. Anybody? Yeah, there's going to be no recap tonight. All right, going to Paul. Oops. Oh, I got to remember to fix that real quick. Give me 1 second. All right. And then the other is 1920 20 centavo. This one's an extremely fine. Looks like a possible lamb error right there. And this one is going to Paul. Congrats, sir. All right, next up. I do not get these in very often at all. 1827 Cap Bust Dime. It's in About Good. PCGS list on this coin is 120 bucks in About Good. I'm doing it for 75. Well, the guy I'm doing it for is doing it for 75. That is a tough date to get. And that is going to Chef. Congrats, sir. I will let him know. Absolutely. Next up is 1875 Carson City with the CC above the bow. This is an AG. It is hold. And that's why it's going for 25 bucks. If that hole wasn't there, this would have been like $50. All right, moving on. Next up, oh, and Richard, if there's anything you want to make sure you absolutely get, still say Ben on it. If you don't, if there's anything you don't want to let get away. 1867 nickel 3 cent in VF. Going for 40 bucks. I love these coins. I like the design on these better than the silver ones. I think the silver ones are boring. They're still cool, but I just like these design better. Anybody? 40 bucks for a VF is a good price. And Richard, you said after you buy all these, you wanted to give them to me as a late birthday present, right? I think I remember you saying that. Going to Richard. Will do, sir. There you go. It is written in the bottom left corner. You heard him? All right. Next up, we got an 1883 no sense V-nickel. It's in an EF at 18 bucks. And this one's going to Richard. Congrats, sir. All right, next up, this, in my opinion, is the showcase coin for tonight. And you guys are going to be drooling over this thing. Check this out. 1854 Arrows at Date, Seated Liberty Quarter, AU. 375 bucks. And Richard's like, yep, nope, not letting that go. Look at that. How often do you guys see seated liberties that look like that? As soon as I saw this thing, I was like, oh my Lord. I spent like 30 minutes just looking at it. Man, that thing is nice. Congrats, man. All right, Seated Liberty halves and the Booker T. Washington went in pre-sale. So we are now on to the walkers. Kicking off walkers, there are 2 of these available. Very first year, the 1916 Philadelphias. They are both in good and 40 bucks each. I would submit that thing for grading personally. Here's number 2. Anybody? 1916 plain dates. Very first year of the Walking Liberty collection. Wow, nobody. All right. Moving on. All right, now we've also got a 1921S in good at 65 bucks. Tiny little estimate marker right there. It's one of the tougher dates to find. Anybody? Is that better? Sort of, except for the shadows are right on it now. The biggest struggle with streaming will forever be getting the lighting just right. There we go. And I talked him down from 90. I got you guys a better deal on this one. You're welcome. All right, moving on. Next up, 1959 Benji proof. $50. Anybody? Melt on these right now. Silver bounced up some. Silver $half, $24.96. So basically $25 just in melt. I remember when I first started doing this, melt on these things was like $8. Something like that. Back in 2018. It wasn't even that long ago. It was only 8 years ago. Alright, moving on. Hey, we'll see. Alright, next up, got some Kennedys. Silver proofs. First one, I've got 2 available. These are the 1964s. Neither one of them are the enhanced hair. I looked just to make sure. But these are going for $40 each. That one's got some cool toning going on. Oh. It's like blue and slightly yellows. Yep. All right, moving on. All right, and then the next 2 are the moderns, but they're 2 of the higher price years because they're the lower mintage years. You got the 1995 S, 90% silver proof. You can see there that they did less than 700,000 on these. 679,985 minted. Going for $40. Trust me, I know how much Kennedys have gone up because someday I'm going to have to replace all of mine that I had to sell. The only silver Kennedy I own right now is a reverse proof. All right, moving on. And then the other one is the 1997 with 741,678 minted, 90% silver proof. Also going for 40 bucks. This is one of them that I can do a little bit of a bundle on with the proofs. And Richard, if you end up getting all these along with that, I'll give you the bundle amount. Which is basically, if you get all four, it drops it to 35 bucks each. All right, Paul is getting the 264s. You got it, sir. And Chef is binning the... Oh, you're too late on that one, man. Paul just bought the 264s, and Chef just bought the 97. The only one even left now is the 95. It's all good, though. It saved you some money, right? All right. Morgan time. We started off with 20 Morgans on this list. Only 2 went in pre-sale. The only 2 that went in pre-sale from the list was 1892 New Orleans and the 1894 New Orleans. We are kicking off with 1879. This one's in a VF for 75 bucks. Someday when I'm actually like not constantly struggling financially, I would love to put a Morgan collection together. Other than like, you know, the ones that none of us will ever own. They got that one that's what, like, going to Richard, like 25,000, something like that, in about good. I'll never own that one. Next up, 1879 New Orleans. VF, 75 bucks. Going to Richard. Congrats, sir. Next up, 1884 New Orleans BU. Over 80 bucks. To Richard. I'm guessing Richard's not wanting to lose out on any of the Morgans. Next up, 1885 plain dates. AU 75. To Richard. Yep, he's sitting on that bin. 1886 and fine 75. Going to Richard. $1887 New Orleans. Fine for 75. To Moose Sox. Moose Sox jumped you on that one, Richard. Congrats, Moose Sox. Next up, 87 plain dates, AU 75. To Richard. Next up, 1888 New Orleans VF 75. It is not the Hot Lips. Going to Richard. Next up, 1889 plain date, AU 75. Going to Richard. Next up, 1889 New Orleans, AU 110. Going to Richard. Give me 1 second. The last one? No, that's an 89. 1889 New Orleans. All good, sir. It did kind of look like it on the overhead cam. Ugh. All right. Next up. 1892 S in fine, 95. And Doug jumped that one. Congrats, Doug. Next up, we're getting into a couple of the better ones now. 1897 New Orleans, AU 175. Going to Richard. Next up, 1898S AU 275. This is the most expensive of the Morgans on the list right here. Going to Richard. Richard beating Moose Sox. Next up, 1899 New Orleans. Moose can have it. All right, Moose Sox, he's letting you have it. So you're getting the 1898S. And this one going to Richard. Next up, 1901 New Orleans, AU 75. I have no idea who that person is. Who is ODST Ed 2005? Oh, that's your son? Welcome, Chef's son. Am I just doing it under your name, Chef? Or am I is he going to email me and I'm invoicing him separately? All right, yeah, I'll just do it all under yours, and then he can pay you. All right, so where did I put that coin? What was that? That was the 1901? Where did I put it? Oh, sitting under the camera. Now I feel dumb. All right. Next up, 1904 plain dates, AU 75. Going to be our chef's son. Congrats, sir. All right, and then the last two available. These are 1921 plain dates. They're both BUs, and they're $80 each. That's number one. You're very welcome. And that is number two. Anybody? All right, moving on. Which means those are just going to Richard. All right, last 4 lots of the night are piece dollars. The 26 and 27 went in pre-sale. Can you ban one of the Canadian quarters and use it for the last sellout giveaway? Sure. Give me a sec. All right, so we got the 1922 AU. $70. These are really nice AUs. Go to Richard. Then you got 1923 AU, $70. Going to Richard. So, Doug, did you want me to just give that to Richard too, or actually do a drawing for it? Since the gold coin is just going to Richard. Next up, 24 piece dollar AU. Do a drawing? All right. $70. To Richard, and the last one is the 1925 AU, $70. And going to Richard. All right, let's see, Canadian quarters. Let's do one of the 19s, I guess. I don't have it yet. I have to go get one. All right. I grabbed it. And it's set aside to give away to somebody. I'll throw something into. I'll do a little something or other. And Richard, I'll be able to knock off a little bit off this. Yeah, anybody who's doing payments, email me and tell me what your payment schedule is going to be. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to get all this filled in for Richard real quick. Because he bought so much, I'm bundling out a little bit of it here. Oops. Dang it. Oh, my Lord. All right, I'll get this done afterwards. But, all right, guys. I got to get out of here. Everybody have a great night. And again, everybody's going to do payments. Email me. Let me know what your schedule is going to be, so I know what to do for the invoicing. Everybody have a great night. Richard, you're awesome. I will get this all figured out and let you know what your grand total was after I deduct some stuff. Everybody have a great night, and I will see you guys next week with part 2.